2025 is turning out to be one of those crazy good years in collectible coins. It started with the Lincoln cents no longer going to be produced. Then we have all the beautiful proof Privy Mark, proof silver eagles throughout the rest of the year. Most of them tied to USA 250, our 250th anniversary of our armed services. We also have the special DC Comics or Superman coins coming out later this year. It's just a lot of fun. But the one that caught us all off guard was the recent release of information, which is the Kennedy half dollar, which started in 1964, 60 odd years ago. As we know it, is done. 2025 will be the last. And with that said, we're going back and looking at some of the earlier issues, some of the key issues, because when it comes down to it, though, the rarity is the rarity, and tonight we have one of the keys. You're going to love it. Here we go. So the Kennedy half dollar series again is being replaced. We're going to be seeing a new reverse next year, which is the dual dated USA 250 celebration. But they announced that in 2027 that the reverse is going to be redesigned and they're going to kind of play the state quarter program with it. But by playing the program, I mean they're going to be changing the themes on the reverse for the Special Olympics. They also left a provision where they could change the obverse design. So with that said, the current Kennedy, the 2025, just like this one, which goes back to year one, 1964, that design, 60 years solid, is changing. So now let's go back and look at the history. So the Kennedy half dollar comes out in 1964. The special celebration of life for our past president. They make P's and D's in circulation. They make a special proof. And in that proof, there are two phenomenal errors, the accented hair and the straight G. Then in 1966, they didn't make proof sets. They made something called a special mint set, which is a hybrid, a polished die struck once versus twice. And they did that in 65, 66, and 67. What we have here is a beautiful looking proof-like coin. However, they had two errors in the special mint set. The first one is the double profile. You might remember that from earlier this year. We found a small deal and that sold out before I could spell double die. And then the second one, which was the big error from the early 1970s, actually was found on those same 1966 coins. And as you see it right here, the eagle, right, which is a look and feel like the presidential seal, has arrows in one hand, right, olive branch in the other. And the designer, Frank Gasparo, FG, his initials are under the, basically, wing pit of the right side. That was omitted in one of the dies they were using. So now, basically, 60 years later, we have the rarity. Guys, let's go to the graphic real quick. That shows that this is the error, but this is what you should see. On the right-hand side of the leg of the eagle, you should see the FG, which is where the initials are for Frank Gasparo, the designer of the Kennedy half dollar. This error or omission is no FG. And again, one die is known to have been on the table for this special event. But it comes down to how many versus how few, correct? Over the years, we've had it beat into us and understood that there are a lot of something or there are little of something, and the lower the mintage, the faster the draw, and the quicker the sellout, and then the market does what it does. Case in point, the Army Privy Proof Silver Eagle from just a matter of a month ago, right? We're seeing crazy things happen when it's only 100,000 known. And that's multi-hundred. We're talking $600 to $1,000 for that coin pretty much across the industry. So if you look at 1964, the very first year, we had the accented hair. The accented hair error, that error, there are about 15 to 16,000 known. And in 66 or higher condition, you are looking at a coin that's $500 to $1,000 as well. Then you get the straight G, which is a special coin with about 500 known, and the price point's relatively the same, which is a great value. But then you get to 1966, right? Year 3 in the program and year 3 of, well, oops. And it's known as the technical FS 901, which means missing initials. As it says here, SMS, no FG, Frank Aspero. If you go and look at PCGS's published numbers, there are 169 in 66 or higher condition, blowing away the straight G, blowing away the accented hair, to put it in place as one of the key, if not the most limited error in the entire Kennedy half-dollar series. And yet it's affordable here today. Look at our numbers, right? We're at $699.95, the lowest price we've had on this beautiful coin, and I can't remember how long. We've seen our competition with this in the last 60 days. You watch them all weekend if you watch other shows, and they were at $849 to $899 in the last 60 days. They had 2 short segments, a couple of coins, beautiful to see it, but gone. Guys, let me see that graphic one more time, please. So again, here is where the blank is, here is where the FG should be. It's missing on this coin. That's the key error. Guys, can we get a 30-second clock and back to the original photo, please? We're down to our last 5 coins. So if you are visiting via the web, avccoins.com, and this is in your shopping cart, and you're going to hang around for a while, which we thank you from the bottom of our hearts, push it through, please. Last week we had 6 sellouts and a few orders we had to undo because the quantity was oversold, and we don't want that. We would love to have the sale, but we want to be able to deliver as well. So tonight, it's that special no FG from the 66 SMS set. It's the one that everybody misses, yet it's one of the big Tokic errors. No FG, Frank Aspero. And as PCGS has told us, how about rarity? 169. That's special.